German police use violence against protesters, the president cuts troops from Iraq, and a stabbing at a nearby Pizza Hut here in St. Louis. Good afternoon, the time is now 3:47 and you are listening to Siraj Nalapareddy on srnb News Radio, where the best news of the Lou comes to you. On to international news, if we take a glance at Germany, we see German police using water cannons and pepper spray this morning to disperse people protesting coronavirus restrictions in Berlin's government district. After crowds ignored calls to wear masks and keep their distance from one another in line with pandemic regulations. Officers avoided shooting the cannons directly at protesters because there were children in the crowd, and they worked slowly and methodically to disperse the crowd. Berlin police spokesman Thilo Kablet said some protesters popped open umbrellas and held their ground until they were eventually forced back. Whether the violence used against protesters was justified or not, we for sure know one thing. This is not the end of Germany's ongoing attempts to protest. Now, let's step away from Germany and into our own national government. Pentagon confirms Trump's Afghanistan-Iraq troop cuts. Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller on Tuesday confirmed reports that Donald Trump has ordered troop withdrawals in Afghanistan and Iraq in the remaining weeks of his presidency, as Pentagon officials struggle to explain why such a consequential shift in America's longest war is necessary now. Miller would not say what conditions the Taliban in Afghanistan have met that should precipitate the U.S. concession of withdrawing troops at a time most indicators point to increased violence. However, we do know some of the president's closest allies on Capitol Hill disagree. Representative Mac Thornberry of Texas, the top Republican on the influential House Armed Services Committee, said hours before Miller's remarks that he was not aware of any conditions on the ground in Afghanistan that justify a troop withdrawal. Now, let's take a break from our national government and into our latest news segment, News from the Lou, where we dive into a stabbing right here in our hometown of St. Louis. Prosecutors say a St. Louis Pizza Hut worker acted in self-defense when he stabbed a customer who had threatened him with a knife during a confrontation about an order. St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office spokeswoman Allison Hawk told the Associated Press on Tuesday that the customer showed up at the restaurant Monday angry and ready to fight. Hawk said the man got the workers to go outside where he drew a knife and told them he also had a gun. Hawk said one of the workers then stabbed the customer several times with a kitchen knife. Police said Friday that the man is expected to survive. Now let's take a break from the news and dive into srnb News Radio's latest sports segment. Last night, England defeated Iceland 2-0 in the UEFA Nations League. Both teams maintained aggressive plays, however, in the end, the Iceland's defense was not able to match the aggressive plays of England, ultimately leading to the loss. Now, as for tonight, don't forget to tune into the 2020 NBA Draft at 7:30 Central. Time to see the new prospects and drafts for the upcoming NBA season. As for the prediction of the draft, we got Anthony Edwards getting picked third, James Wiseman as a second pick, and ultimately LaMelo Ball getting first pick. Now on to weather. It is currently sunny with a temperature of 47 degrees with the highs of 50 and a low of 33 later tonight. As of tomorrow, there is a low of 54 and a high of 72 with sunny skies. Temperature should be hitting the 70s Friday, and make sure you bring your umbrella because it's expected to rain all weekend. This concludes today's broadcast of srnb News. This is Siraj Nalapareddy, and thanks for tuning in to srnb News Radio, the best of the news from the Lou.